Launch code. Access granted.
Hello, welcome to this Microsoft Excel class. I am your host and instructor, Ruben Herrera. And on this lesson, my friends, we're going to learn about the if function. But before I do that, I like to explain the difference between formulas versus functions in Excel. And I think this is very important that we know the difference between formulas and functions in Excel. So this way we have a better idea what do we need to use in order for us to retrieve information from our spreadsheets. Okay, so let's get started. So what is the difference between a formula and a function? We use these two words interchangeably. Okay, technically in Excel, anything that is after the equal sign is a formula. However, there is a difference between a formula and a function in Excel. Okay, so formula in Excel is a math problem. It's a mathematical equation that will give us a specific result. It looks almost like a math problem. For example, I have right here equals the value of A1 plus the whatever value of A2 plus whatever value is on A3. I'm going to add these three values together and it will give me a specific result. Now, in the other side, a function in Excel, my friends, it's a word that triggers Excel to do something for us, okay? This word has a special name and purpose, okay? We've been using functions all this time and we just never noticed. For example, the sum function, also the maximum function, the minimum function, the average function, okay? And for example, I have right here a function. It says right here equals sum. So this is the word that is going to trigger Excel to do something for us. And then right here after that I have parentheses, and inside of the parentheses I have arguments. These arguments are either going to be separated by commas or conjoined by the colon sign. Okay, so what are arguments? Okay, well, arguments, they go inside of parentheses and they go after a function. Okay, the amount of arguments that we have in a function is different depending on the function that we're using in Excel. The order on which we place the arguments inside of the parentheses is also matter and a difference depending on the function that we're using in Excel. And also the type of arguments that we put in there, they're also different depending on the function that we are using in Excel. However, my friends, I'm going to show you guys a very easy way to enter your functions in Excel from scratch like professionals, okay, and in a way that you guys don't have to remember all this mumbo jumbo and all this syntax. Okay, so for example, I have a better example for a function right here. So here's the function name and here are the arguments, and as you can tell there are three arguments and they're all three are separated by commas. Okay, very nice. So this is the syntax. This is how generally most of the functions in Excel work. Not all functions in Excel require arguments, okay, but most of them do. Now let us look at the if function now. For example, the if function in Excel, I know this, by heart because I've been using it for a while. So it has three arguments, okay? Now, the reason why I like to, whenever I do my lesson on functions in Excel, that is real functions in Excel, that's what I call them, I like to show or I like to explain the if function first. And the reason why is because you guys are going to use the if function a lot. I also see the if function a lot myself on almost every Excel spreadsheet that I use or that I'm helping a person with. Also, in my personal opinion, if you guys learn how to use and master the if function in Excel, you are pretty much gonna learn how to use, learn, and master all the rest of the functions in Excel. Now, the if function has three arguments. The first argument right here is a logical test or a statement. Okay. The first argument is a statement. The second argument is what did you want Excel, or in this case, this function, what do you want the if function in Excel to do if this is a statement or if the value is true? And the third and last argument is what did you want Excel to do if this argument or the value is false, or in other words is not true. Okay, so the if function in Excel, pretty much the reason why we use it is because we use the if functions to have Excel help us make decisions for us. Okay, so I have another example right here for the if function. This one I like to use my daughter who is in college right now. Her name is Letty. Okay, so for example, I have this. If, okay, I'm telling my daughter Letty, okay, Letty, if you behave, this is the logical test or statement. If you behave and if this is true, I'm gonna buy you an iPad. Okay, but if you do not behave, and of course, this statement is not gonna be true, then it's false. And therefore, if it's not true and if you don't behave, and instead you're gonna be grounded, and you're not gonna like that. Okay, so this is one example, more like a realistic or example that I use for my if function. And no, I'm not gonna buy my daughter an iPad anyways. We cannot afford an iPad anyways. But anyways, this is one of the examples that I use. Now let us go ahead and use the if function in an actual spreadsheet, and let's take this for a test drive. Okay, we're gonna do that on this next part of our lesson. Okay, my friends, on this example right here, I have a list of some students and they are doing some kind of fundraising. I don't know what they're raising funds for, but their sales target is $25,000. What I like to do, I like to use the if function so that Excel can make us help a decision. We want Excel to look at each of these cells right here, and if the cells are equals or greater than $25,000, we're gonna place the word bonus in here. Okay, can you imagine if we have to do this manually every time, or with every person right here? For example, I have to look, okay, is this above 25,000? Okay, yes, just type bonus. Is this over or under $25,000? Okay, let's put no bonus right here. Okay, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. It'll take a very long time to do this. So this is where we're going to use the if function on this small report, on this small example, so that it can help us make decisions. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you first how to enter functions in Excel before we enter the if function. I'm going to show you how to enter functions in Excel the easy way. Okay, my friends. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start like always with an equal sign, and I'm going to type equals. Okay, very nice. And then, okay, well, this is where I want to enter my function. And remember, my friends, that the goal is to all of these cells in here, if they're equals or greater than $25,000, I'm going to put the word bonus in here. And if it's not, I'm going to put the word loser. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to put the word loser in here. We're just going to put the word no bonus. Okay. So I'm going to get ready to start inputting my function right here. And I'm going to start typing the if function. It'll go something like if, and look at this. Very nice. So notice, my friends, that I have, just like if I was Googling stuff on the internet, notice that I have an autocomplete function. And then what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to pretend that my boss or someone is looking over my shoulder and I want to show off. I'm going to use the arrow keys on my keyboard so that I can scroll up and down on this autocomplete function until I find the function that I'm looking for. Okay, in this case is right here, the if function. Notice that I have right here this text right here on this little bitty box right here. This is called the screen tip. The screen tip will give me an information about this function and what this function can do for me should I decide to use it, but nobody reads it. Okay, so once I find the function that I'm looking for and I want to pretend that I look cool, I'm going to press on my keyboard the tab key. The tab key that is right above the caps key. So tab key, boom. It finished to insert my function for me. It finished it to type it. It capitalized my letters and it opens my first parenthesis. Very nice. And this is saving me a whole bunch of keystrokes. Notice that, excuse me, notice that my screen tip changes also. Notice what I have here, my friends. It's the syntax, it's the way that I supposed to enter my arguments on my functions, and even tells me right here is even it even makes some bold letters right here on the argument that I should be working with. This is very nice information. It's almost like cheating, but nobody reads this. Okay, now if this is getting on your nerves, you can also move this away somewhere where it's not on your way, but it's still where you can see it, so that you can keep on looking at how are you going to enter your arguments. Okay, now the easiest way to enter your arguments in Excel once you start working with functions is to say the arguments out loud in your head. I'm going to say them out loud with my voice because, for the teaching purposes of this video. But it's always better, it makes more sense if you try to enter these arguments like if you were thinking out loud. So I'm going to start right here. If this cell in here, B5, it's greater than or equals, and this is very important, greater than or equals, okay, not just greater than or equals $25,000. Okay, very nice. That's my first argument or statement. Okay, comma, if this is true, I want you to put the word bonus. And I'm going to put the word place, type the word bonus, and I'm going to do it inside of double quotations. And the reason why is because every time I want Excel to type or to enter any text for me, any alpha values, it needs to go inside of double quotations. All right, my friends, not single quotations twice, but the double quotations key that is next to your enter key on your keyboard. Okay, so that's my first argument. My second argument, comma. My third argument is if that statement is not true, then we're gonna put the word no. We're not gonna do loser. We're gonna put no bonus. Okay. Very nice. And then I'm going to close my parentheses. Very nice. So once again, now I have my if function right here. Is very geeky. Look, you see, this is almost like programming. And by the way, the if function also exists in some programming language like Java and C++. So if, some people also know this as if this or that. Some people also call this the if statement, which it can be called whatever you like, as long as we understand what this is. This is very geeky. This is almost like programming, and you guys now understand what this is. Look, this is B5. If this cell right here, this value is equals or greater than $25,000, if it's true, I want you to type the word bonus. And if it's not true, I want you to type the word no bonus. Okay? Very nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and press enter and take this function for a test drive. Enter. Very nice. Denise, yes, she got more than $25,000. Very nice. She is got the word bonus. Now I'm gonna populate the rest of the column right here. Now in the real world scenario, this could be a very, very long report with hundreds, if not thousands of rows. Very nice. Look at this. So now Excel, look at what Excel did for us. Our if statement or our if function, look at every single one of these values right here and made a decision for us. Okay, very, very nice. I can also do a very small tweak in here too. We learned in past lessons how to lock cells. So I can also, if in the future I wanna change the cells target, for example, I can go back. I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to select this right here, and then I'm going to press F4 on my keyboard to lock that reference. Okay. I'm going to press enter, and now I remember we have to always repopulate or update our functions. I'm going to do that. Very nice. Now I can change right here that cells target, and I can very easily make it very hard for everybody to get a bonus. You see that? Very nice. Or I can also make it very easy for people to make bonus. Very nice. Everybody got a bonus except one loser. Okay. I'm just kidding. I'm going to change that back to 25,000. Very nice. And I'm going to place back. I'm going to show my function back so that you guys can see it. And I thank you very much for being on this video lesson. I hope that you guys like this lesson, and I will see you in our next video. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Launch code. Access granted.